A much shorter episode this time, as very few SNES games in the PAL region began with the letter E. So in keeping with the rest of the video, let's keep this intro short and sweet and get on with it. But just in case you have missed what is going on here, I'm trying to play every SNES PAL game throughout a bunch of videos so I can put a definitive list of my absolute favourites at the end. Right, let's go. Now the word Super was slapped on many a game for the SNES, but in this case the word was removed for the PAL version. I kinda get it though, as there isn't much that's super about it, other than being super tough maybe. But for an earlier title it does look great. And it's a game that might have won me over, it wasn't so tough straight away. Without any checkpoints, I was dying to sleep and starting again, until I flicked it off in disgust. Earthworm Jim's 1 and 2 up next, and wow, where do I start? You might have noticed that I'm not a big platformer fan. The game has to stand out from the crowd to get my attention. There are so many meh platformers on this system. I'd certainly heard of the Earthworm Jim games, but I'd never played them, so I was curious to see how they stood up, and well, they do. Very random mechanics. You can use your head and neck as a whip, for flip's sake. And after 20 minutes in both games, I was picking up cows and putting pigs down a slide, and I had very little clue what I was doing, and some of the pickups for the guns were either super cool or utter crap. So it did feel like I should investigate both games further, as I think I would really like them. So which one is better? Well, at this point I have no idea, although I understand the second one has better saving options, but don't quote me on that. Right, first up, I've turned the brightness up on this one as it seems really dark. Second, I'm not sure what to make of it. Has anyone played it? Did you like it? Please let me know in the comments because I'm really confused. Third, the cat is fairly annoying to control with that on ice thing that some of the platformers of this time did. Fourth, it looks great and is really fast and nice to look at, but now above everything else is the excruciating trump card, which is the main premise of the game, the granny. You gotta get across the level, but man that seems tough. Now I'm nearly 50 and thought fuck this after 20 minutes, so God knows what a kid would think on first play. It's horrible. But please, if you love this game, change my mind. Equinox, which is a follow-up to the NES game Solstice, known as Solstice 2 in Japan, is one of those isometric view games. Now I thought these were done to death in the 8-bit era and that I was long shot of them by the 90s, but apparently not. So yeah, okay, it does look lovely. The world map not so much, but when you enter the dungeons etc, graphically this game is great. But, and it's a big but, this could be the greatest game ever on the SNES, but I doubt I'd play it. I was never a fan of this viewpoint. Everything has to be so precise, so you often end up dying needlessly because you're unsure on your perception of depth. Is this the only game like this on the SNES though? That's pretty cool if it is, but probably not cool enough. Now for any poor bastard trying to complete a full PAL set, here's another game you have to buy twice, but I'll only be playing it once. Eric Cantona's Football Challenge was released as such in France, but the rest of Europe got it as Striker, and it was called World Soccer with different subnames in other regions. I really wish they would just stick to one title, so yeah, you'd have to buy this and Striker, which are essentially the same games, yay. Now as football games go, this one made me smile. It's fun in the same way sensible soccer is. You can often just take one player up the pitch and score, but it's very fast. And I did find myself having quite a few games, which is something that doesn't happen all that often with football games on the system. Great fun under any name. Now, I know very little about baseball, but I have fond memories of playing 8-bit offerings that I enjoyed when I was younger. So this one started off pretty well, in all honesty. It looks pretty nice and it plays okay, but it didn't fully grab me and it's not something I'll probably come back to. That's not to say it's a bad game, it was just an average experience overall.
Strike one.
Now, Euro Football Champ feels very much like a lot of other arcade soccer games at that time. Just called Football Champ in the arcade, it ticks all the boxes that arcade football games that were 10 to a penny did. Goal celebrations and slow clunky controls. It's all pretty disappointing, especially after playing striker Eric Cantona thingy prior. Nope. Okay, last game of the E's is Exhaust Heat, which was called F1 Race of Champions in other regions. And yeah, this game. Now, I love a racing game, and an F1 game on the SNES? Yes please. But this is bobbins. The car is really small and the corners come up onto you way too fast, and it all feels very Mode 7-y, but in a bad way. It's not terrible, but it's not great either. So what do I revisit for the final? Well, I'm going to put 3 games in from this lot. Firstly, the 2 Earthworm Jim games. Now I'm going to pick both of them as I couldn't tell them apart really for the short time I played them. So they'll both go through and I'll give them a bit more playtime and see how we get on. And for shits and giggles, we're going to have to put Eric Cantona through, or Striker as it's also called, because I just enjoyed it immensely. So, we are getting some great games together now as we move on to the Fs, which will be coming up soon. But that's all for now, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.